Hare Krishna. We continue reading with Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 7, Knowledge of the Absolute. Text 19. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. So Krishna begins by saying that you want to get out of this material world, then you surrender to me. And if you surrender to me, you can easily cross beyond it. Then he goes on to say 4 kinds of people who never surrender to Krishna, and 4 kinds of people, 5 pious people who come to Krishna. And then now he is saying that one who comes in knowledge, that will take him many births. Many births. It's going to take him to come to surrender to me. And then he says, such a great soul is very rare. This person is a Mahatma. One who surrenders to Krishna is a Mahatma and is a very rare person, a very rare soul. A living entity while executing devotional service or transcendental rituals after many births may actually become situated in transcendental pure knowledge that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate goal of spiritual realization. So we need to come to the point that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate goal of spiritual realization. So some may do it immediately, some may come to this point immediately. For some, it may take many births. Many births. In the beginning of spiritual realization, while one is trying to give up one's attachment to materialism, there is some leaning towards impersonalism. But when one is further advanced, he can understand that there are activities in the spiritual life, and these activities constitute devotional service. So if we take the path of knowledge, we will first come to the impersonal realization, Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi. But once one continues the research, then one will understand, oh, there is a spiritual world. There are spiritual activities. There are living entities in the spiritual world. So what are these spiritual activities? That is devotional service. Realizing this, he becomes attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and surrenders to him. At such a time, one can understand that Lord Sri Krishna's mercy is everything, that he is the cause of all causes, and that this material manifestation is not independent from him. So we need to come to the point of surrender to Krishna. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that in the 18th chapter, text 66, he tells to Arjuna, you give up everything, all varieties of religion, you abandon, you just surrender to me. Now it is our choice. We want to take many births to surrender to Krishna, or we want to surrender to Krishna immediately, or within this life or next life. The choice is ours. Krishna does not interfere with our free will. He just makes the knowledge available for us and leaves the choice to us. It is in our interest if we can come quickly to the point that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Krishna, and we need to surrender to him. If we don't accept it now, anyway, after millions of births, we have to accept that. Right now, we may say, no, why? No, let me do further research. Maybe there's something else. Maybe I'm God. How do I know? Or maybe someone else is God. Let me research. But if we do this research work, it will take us many lifetimes, and we will come to this point. Oh, that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and I need to surrender to him. And that there is spiritual activities, engaging in devotional service. So when one is engaging in devotional service, one gets attached to Krishna. When he gets attached to the Supreme Lord, then he surrenders. At such a time, one can understand that Lord Shri Krishna's mercy is everything, that he's the cause of all causes, and that this material manifestation is not independent from him. So then the devotee understands that this material world, where is it coming from? It's coming from Krishna. Krishna is the creator. Krishna is the cause of all causes. Sarva Karana Karanam. Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma says that Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. The cause of all causes is Lord Krishna. There is nothing, no one that is independent of Lord Krishna. Nothing that does not belong to him, no one that does not belong to him. Nothing or no one is independent from him. He realizes the material world to be a perverted reflection of the spiritual variegatedness and realizes that in everything there is a relationship with the Supreme Lord Krishna. So this is the perfect platform. At that platform, he realizes that, oh, this material world, there is variety. Why? Because the real variety is there in the spiritual world. And this material world is merely a perverted reflection. Perverted reflection. If we go to the bank of a river, we see the real tree is there on the bank. And if we look in the water, we can see the reflection of the tree in the water. But it is perverted. So the highest part of the tree on land will look to be the lowest part inside the water. That's how this material world is. You know, the lowest point seems to be the highest point in this material world. Perverted reflection. And we have to come to understand these things, that this material world is a perverted reflection and that everything has a relationship with Lord Krishna. Everything, everyone, each and every living entity is a part and parcel of Lord Krishna. Krishna says it himself in the 15th chapter, 15th verse, that all the living entities are my fragmental parts. He says that, 15.7, I think, or 15.15 or 15.7, somewhere there, Mama Vamsa Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha, Manasasthani Indriyani. He says that. Thus, he thinks of everything in relation to Vasudeva or Sri Krishna. Such a universal vision of Vasudeva precipitates one's full surrender to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna as the highest goal. Such surrendered great souls are very rare. So it's not very easy to come to this platform. It's a very high platform. But Lord Caitanya has made it easy for us. Lord Caitanya, Lord Sri Krishna came himself as Lord Caitanya 500 years ago. And he's saying, just chant this Hare Krishna mantra and make your lives perfect. Revive your love of God. Take this love of God. Just chant the Hare Krishna mantra. This verse is very nicely explained in the 3rd chapter, verses 14 and 15 of the Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Let's see. Okay. Sahasra Shirsha Purusha Sahasraksha Sahasrapad Sa Bhumim Vishwato Vritva Tyatishthad Dashangulam Purusha Evedam Sarvam Yadbhutam Yakcha Bhavyam Uttam Ritatva Shesha Vasyeshano Yad Ane Natiro Hati. Lord Vishnu has thousands of heads, thousands of eyes, and thousands of feet, entirely encompassing the whole universe. He still extends beyond it by 10 fingers breadth. He is, in fact, this entire universe. He is all that was and all that will be. He is the Lord of immortality and of all that is nourished by food. So this is being said in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad, verse 14 and 15, that the Lord, He's unlimited. He's there everywhere, and yet He's beyond it. Why? Because He's unlimited. So He's always expanding. He's always expanding. And so we get confused. Oh, why? How come somebody who's always expanding can be a person? Yes, He is. That is how inconceivable God is. Why can't He? That's the meaning of unlimited, that He has unlimited potencies. He can be everywhere and He can be in one place. So in the Chandogya Upanishad 5.1.15, it is said, Navai vacho na chakshumshi na shrotrani na manasmiti achakshate prana iti eva chakshate prano hi evetani sarvani bhavanti. In the body of a living being, neither the power to speak, nor the power to see, nor the power to hear, nor the power to think is the prime factor. It is life which is the center of all activities. So we may think, what is most powerful? My ability to speak, to see, to hear, what is it? But life itself. Life itself is the most important. Similarly, Lord Vasudeva, or the personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, is the prime entity in everything. In this body, there are powers of speaking, of seeing, of hearing, of mental activities, etc. But these are not important if not related to the Supreme Lord. And because Vasudeva is all-pervading and everything is Vasudeva, the devotee surrenders in full knowledge. This is Bhagavad Gita chapter 7.17 and 11.40. So Krishna, He's everywhere. By His potencies, He's everywhere. He's the Paramatma in everyone's heart, in every atom of the universe. So He's all-pervading. Everything belongs to Him. Everything is Him, but we are not Him. We are not God. Simultaneous, one and different. We are part of God, part and parcel. We are God's energy. And when we realize that, then we fully surrender. Then the devotee surrenders in full knowledge, understanding that Vasudevam Sarvam Iti, that everything belongs to Krishna. Everything belongs to Krishna. Is that okay? So we'll stop here for today. Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Shilpa Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.